All right, you guys. So I want to welcome you back to another review for the Black Series line of figures for Star Wars. I know it's been a little while since I've done a figure review on this channel or any videos at all on this channel. It's kind of been slow going. Thought I would try and get a video in this weekend. So let's see how it goes. So today we're going to get a look at our Moff Gideon Dark Trooper armor from the Star Wars Mandalorian series. So getting you a look at the box, we have our Black Series logo at the top, the name of our character off to the side. He is number 44 in the line of Star Wars The Mandalorian Black Series figures. Warning label, 4 and up, Hasbro logo. And then, of course, you have all of his accessories on the inside as well. And then, of course, off to the side for our figure, we have our side panel of Moff Gideon with his staff. Very cool. Nice silhouette going up into the black and white with our figure there. Again, name of the figure at the bottom. Very, very cool stuff for your side panel for your Black Series figure for Moff Gideon Dark Trooper armor. And then, of course, for the back side of your figure, we have Moff Gideon. Again, the illustration of our figure, Black Series logo, all of your other readables. Again, he is number 44 in the line for your Mandalorian series. And your blurb for your figure reads as, Moff Gideon has constructed the next generation of Dark Troopers made of Beskar, harvested from the depths of Mandalike previous incarnations. This prototype is a battle suit Gideon wears. So, of course, a nice little blurb for the figure itself and the armor that he is wearing and where the armor came from. Very, very nice blurb for your Moff Gideon figure. And then, of course, we are back around to the front. So we're going to get our figure out of the box, get a look at all of the detail, go over the articulation since he does have some armor on. My assumption is that it's the same armor as any other Mandalorian or the previous incarnation of the Mandalorian armor that we received in the line, but we will see if that is the case. And then, of course, guys, we'll get our figure in a very cool diorama, so please do stay tuned. All right, you guys, and we have our figure out of the box, and first impressions out of the box, I think he is really, really cool. I love the amount of accessories that he comes with. The armor looks really, really nice. And he is a very, very cool figure. I think he is very awesome. I'm not sure. There are some differences with the armor in reference to any of the other Mandalorian style armor that we received or Stormtrooper armor. You could tell there are some different parts on this guy. The boots seem to be a little different than anything that we've ever received in the line as far as I can recall. Obviously, the helmet is very different. But just in the shoulders, the length of the shoulder armor just seemed to be different for this armor. So this may be a totally new mode. I could be totally wrong about that. But this just seems to be a little different than anything that we've ever received in the line, as far as I can tell, first impressions. As far as the head sculpt is concerned, and I didn't really take a close look at it, pulling it out of the box. I was just trying to get it posed for this review. But looking at it here on camera, I have to say I'm not really that impressed with it. But once we get a closer look, maybe I can give you a definitive answer on that. But at the moment, the way it looks, I'm not really too impressed by it. And I'm not sure how much better it is than the original scope. And we will get a comparison of that original scope of the figure in this review as well, guys. But there he is in his flesh and armor. Looks really, really cool. Has a lot of accessories, as I mentioned. A holster for the weapon. Weapon fits in there nicely. Didn't even have a problem with the strap on the holster. Went right into the slot. No problem. Didn't pop back out when I collapsed it closed. So that was very, very nice to see as well. Then, of course, you have the electro staff, the helmet. There is also the electro staff in its closed position, which is not pictured here with the figure, but we will get a look at that accessory as well. And then, of course, as I've always said, I am a sucker for soft goods, and the soft goods cape is a very, very nice touch for this figure. Rather long, I would say, kind of drags on the floor, but kind of gives him kind of a Darth Vader type of feel as well with that long cape. So I can't complain about it too much. But of course, like I said, soft goods, very nice. You can, if you're creative enough, you can kind of get some really cool poses with this cape kind of flapping in the wind as he's fighting. So we'll see how that goes for our diorama. So a really cool figure, guys. Let's get you a closer look at Moff Gideon in his Mandalorian armor. All right, you guys, and getting you a closer look. Now that I'm getting a opportunity to truly examine the face sculpt, I think the face sculpt may be a lot better than I initially thought. The hairline may be off a little bit, or maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe the hairline is right where it needs to be, but it just seems like there's a little bit more forehead than there needs to be. And it looks like, yeah, I'm not sure if it's even, but it could be, but it looks a little uneven to me as well. Almost noticeably so, just looking at it. But again, the head sculpt is a lot better than I initially thought. As I mentioned, I didn't get a good look at it out of the box. The armor, very, very cool stuff there. It just looks amazing. I think they did a really, really good job with the black and red scheme. As I mentioned, the holster and the strap that collapses in. No problem with that at all. Went in on the first try. Just a very good look at the armor. And then on the back side, he also comes with the backpack. I'm not sure if it's removable. It was on him as I pulled him out, but I'm going to take a good guess saying that it is removable. But we'll see. But it definitely attaches on the back side of the cape and not underneath the cape, which makes a little sense. I'm assuming the cape is fire retardant. But he looks good. Looks really, really good. As I mentioned, the boots look a little different than anything we've ever seen. So again, I could be totally wrong about this sculpt, and this may be a sculpt that we may have seen, but it is very, very cool armor. Just looks absolutely cool. Very, very nice stuff. And then with your articulation, he's going to give you a straight arm like so, an elbow bend that goes back about that far. He's also going to give you a very nice 360 all the way around. No problem with the shoulder guard, even though you do have that nice looking shoulder guard there, but there's no problem. It kind of gets out of your way to give you that 360 articulation, so that's cool. You have a twist at the elbow and your twist in the wrist. There is an up and down joint in the wrist for your right hand, and then your left hand also has that same up and down articulation in the wrist. You have an excellent T-pose as well for your figure. He also has a pretty wide stance as well. In the leg area, he's going to kick out about that far. He gives you a knee high that goes up about that high in his Karate Kid stance there. Very cool. Obviously, he only goes back about that far. Slight twist in the hip area there. There is a swivel underneath the knee, the ankle down about that far. And then he actually only goes up just a tad bit, as you can see right there. In the torso, he's going to go down about that far, goes back really, really far. Very nice. Get a really, really cool range with that ball joint right there. Of course, no problem going left to right. It's really cool. And then in the head area, he's going to go down about that far, looks up about that far. Of course, your left to right is no issue. Get a little bit of the head nod as well there in the head. So he is really, really awesome. I do like him a lot. He feels weighty too as well. And one of the other things that I noticed just messing around with him, he's not as top heavy as some figures are with the jetpack on the back. He kind of stands very nicely, and I think that's due to the way that the boots are designed. They're very solid, no gaps, no spaces in between, very solid footing that allows you to get the proper balance for this guy to make him stand and get him in some very cool poses. But we'll see how it goes with the posing with the diorama. But he is very impressive just offhand. I think he's very, very nice looking. And then, as I mentioned, his accessories, you have his electro staff. It's a really nice staff. It's kind of a grayish with some silver in between. I think the very end is silver there. And you'll see how that coincides with the version of this weapon in its closed position. And of course, you get the electro effect as well. So a very, very nice weapon for your figure. Also, a closer look at the helmet. Again, very nice black and red scheme. You have the little voice modulator piece right there, just underneath the visor, which is a nice touch. Mostly all black. No other paint apps on the back side or on the side. Most of it just in the front with the red. Look at the other side. So a nice little helmet to go with your armor. And of course, here is your staff when it is in its closed position. So nice addition to your figure to have him with the staff in the closed position when it is unused. And then you have that little silver tip at the bottom right there. So when the weapon is fully open, as you can see, this part extends out, which is that little small nub right there. So that's really cool. And it extends out from the black part right there. So a very good look at both versions of your weapon. Just a nice job. And then, as I mentioned before, your holster for your weapon goes in there nicely. The clasps did pop out there. So it kind of went against what I had already gave it credit for, but as you can see, it pops right in. But I guess I assumed it would stay in there, but it did pop out a little bit, or for a second. You can take it off, remove your weapon, and of course you got a nice, very cool side pistol for Moff Gideon. Not a lot of paint apps on there, just kind of a black, matte black there, scope included. Very cool, very nice weapon. Nice addition for your figure. Very nice. And then to get you a look with the helmet on, with the armor, very nice fit. It actually wasn't hard to get over the face sculpt at all. No rubbing or touching across the nose, so that's good. Seems to be on there solid enough. I don't think it's gonna fall off. Now I'm turning him upside down. He's not falling off. But it is a little looser fit than normal. But again, I think that's due to them trying to make it a fit where it's not going to damage the face sculpt with frequent, positioning or putting the helmet on and off. So a nice little touch by Hasbro there with the helmet, making it a little bit bigger than normal and not such a tight fit over the figure's face where it's going to damage the face sculpt. So very cool stuff. All right, so I think he is a very awesome figure. I like the look. Everything is awesome. I like the little details that they added here. Like I had mentioned, the helmet being a little bit bigger than normal, so it's not such a tight fit. Not too bad, and still stays on where it doesn't fall off or get out of position too much. But it can get out of position because it is a little bit looser than normal, but still not a great hindrance. As a matter of fact, it will save your face sculpt from being scraped up and messed up. So I like that addition as well. A very solid feeling figure, very weighty, no issues with it being top heavy, even with the backpack on the back. I did not take the backpack off. I'm not sure if it's removable, but looking at the backpack, and I forgot to get you guys a look at that backpack with the accessories. Um, I'm not sure if it's removable. I did try to see if I can nudge it a little bit, and it felt like it was on there really, really solidly, as if it is strapped onto the top part or the chest plate. As you can see, the cape is kind of pinned to the back there. You may need to remove it from the top here, right there. I'm not sure if the cape pops out of that position. It kind of looks like it does, but I'm not going to do that to my figure, unfortunately, guys, because I don't want to damage it at all. So my guess is that you can remove it, but it is a part of the chest piece, and you're going to have to probably go through a lot just to remove that backpack if that's what you wish to do. So look at the jetpack on the back. Is it removable? Yes, I believe it is, but as I mentioned, you're probably going to go through a lot just to get it off of there, guys. But if any of you guys get this removed, and let me know what the process is. Is it difficult? Put those comments down below if you have removed the backpack on this guy already. All right, you guys. So getting you a comparison between the two different versions that we received of this particular character. As you can see, the face sculpts are totally different, and there is a good reason for that. And I totally forgot about this. It's been so long since I've seen the episode where we saw Moff Gideon, in quotations, I'm going to say Moff Gideon in quotations, in the Mandalorian armor. And the difference that I forgot between these two iterations of this character is that the Mandalorian Beskar armor version of Moff Gideon is what I believe is a clone of Moff Gideon and not the real Moff Gideon. As you can see, there is a younger look to this one. There is no mustache, as there is with the original version of this character. And that's why you get such a different head sculpt for this particular figure. So I actually have to take back what I initially said with the face sculpt, because I thought it was a little bit off, a little bit different. No, it's a younger version of Moff Gideon, minus the mustache and all of that. Even the hairstyle is totally different. They gave him more of a bowl cut as a younger guy, as opposed to the more slick back look that he has in the original version for this particular figure. So some really cool stuff, and something I totally forgot, that he was a clone, and they didn't say that he was a clone, but we know that he was working on clone technology. He was also working on, I think this is the third generation of the Death Trooper program, which would have clones that he was looking to have in Beskar armor. And he started with cloning himself, is what I believe, but it hasn't been fully revealed that this was an actual clone. The thought is, and I think the thought that they wanted us to have, is that this was actually Moff Gideon, and he died in that finale of season 3 of The Mandalorian, I believe it is. But I don't believe that is the case. I think he is alive and well, and we will see him back as this version of Moff Gideon, as opposed to this version, unless he's made several different clones of himself, which could be a possibility. So we could actually see the clone version of Moff Gideon back as well. So just wanted to get you guys a comparison between the two different versions of this figure, and then also go over one of the details that I forgot, which again, and it is just simply a theory because it was not confirmed that version that we saw in the season 3 finale was a clone, but my suspicion is that he is a clone, and that's why we have such a different look, especially now that we have a figure of that version of Moff Gideon. And it's clear that they tried to make him younger. They even gave him a different hair sculpt, took the mustache off of him. And this is supposed to be a younger, better more athletic version of Moff Gideon, capable of taking on the Mandalorian and Bo-Katan as he did in that finale. So some really cool stuff, and something I just wanted to mention. And to get you a closer look at the two different face sculpts for your Moff Gideon, as you can see, those are the differences there. Almost looks like a different character almost. But there is the difference between your two figures. Very cool stuff. I think this all but confirms, without them actually saying it, that that armored version of Moff Gideon is a clone, for sure. A younger version of the true Moff Gideon. I also like the fact that they did away with the molded cape. Just very poorly done on the original version. Falls off too easily. Makes him a little top heavy, where you got to kind of lean him over a little bit in order to get him to stand properly. Where with this new iteration of the figure, you get a soft goods cape. Even with the backpack, he is not as top heavy and is much more posable. So very, very cool stuff. All right, you guys. So we're going to get our figure in a very cool diorama. So please do stay tuned. You guys, and there you have your Moff Gideon in the Dark Trooper Beskar armor. Very, very cool, very nice figure. I do like him a lot. Again, as I mentioned, very weighty, has a nice, good feel to him. Comes with several different accessories that is absolutely awesome. Also love the soft goods cape. It is a very, very nice looking cape as well. The helmet, even that is a little bit bigger than what we normally get, so you're not going to scrape up the face sculpt of your figure, which is a very, very nice touch. So I really thought this was a absolutely awesome figure. I do like it a lot. Whether you like the fact that this may be a clone of Moff Gideon, or if the actual Moff Gideon died at the end of season 3 of The Mandalorian, that is to be seen. We'll have to see what they do with that storyline. My personal opinion is that that clone of Moff Gideon, who was seemingly destroyed in that fire or that explosion when the Imperial Star Destroyer kind of collapsed into the facility that they were fighting in, and then you get that big explosion at the end, as I tried to kind of demonstrate in our diorama for this particular figure. So guys, let me know what your thoughts are in regards to this figure. What do you think of this figure? Do you like this figure? I do like this figure a lot. This figure may even be considered as an army builder. Maybe if you remove the cape and just leave the jetpack without the cape, you can kind of army build these guys, get about 4 or 5 of these guys, leave the helmet on, and maybe you can start your Dark Trooper army. If we ever see that iteration in the Mandalorian movie that's coming up, I don't know. We'll have to see. You can almost consider this an army build if you want to take it that route. Again, I think you would have to remove the cape. I don't think they're going to come with the cape. I think the distinction between Moff Gideon and his army of Dark Troopers will be the fact that he has the cape and they do not. If you're going to do the army build, that would just be my suggestion. Just a thought off the top of my head there, guys. But guys, again, let me know what your thoughts are in regards to this figure. Have you picked him up? Will you be picking him up? I think he is a very awesome figure. I actually had him for a little while. As I mentioned, I've been a little slow to get these reviews out. I still have like 2 other figures that are just sitting on the shelf waiting to be reviewed, and I hope to get those out in the coming weeks. So guys, please do look out for that as well, guys. But again, let me know what your thoughts are. Put those comments down below. And of course, guys, I want to thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. And of course, guys, from the Father to the Son to the Obi-Wan Force Ghost, may the Force be with you always.